Hello everybody, I'm Sari ALANDER from Visma, and I'm going to talk about today how you could learn to find your strengths and also how to use your learn things in your career planning, and also what you need for future. So why would you be very good person to come and change your career also in the later phases of your life? But let's start with my presentation. So you can learn, definitely. So remember that during the whole presentation. Visma is a Scandinavian or global almost company having 13,000 employees and 2,081 million revenue for 2021. The Visma solution where I work, we have 350 people, and to this year we will be 100 million revenue, which means that we will be one of the unicorns. And so today we will look how the sun comes up in your minds and how to find your trees and your stories. Let's continue. First, I would like to start by introducing the lucky clover, which I mean that there is 3 things you should remember that in the future people need to have these kind of knowledge and skills to be actually the wanted people from the businesses. So there comes the continuous learning. Then there is problem solving. Then it is highly valued if you have a certain area expertise. And last but not least, what I call future-proof. And which actually comes from Yuval Noah Harari, one of the future researchers, I would say. And I guess the continuous learning is really something which is very easy to understand. As well, the problem solving. I guess it doesn't really require too much explanation. Area expertise, I would actually, so this can be anything because software is everywhere nowadays. Which means that when we make products and services for people and businesses, it is always the case that someone needs to know what that means. So that is the area expertise. And then the future-proof. This is kind of a new what has been coming lately. It means that kind of old times, people built their knowledges and skills like layers. You learn something in the elementary school, then you maybe go to the high school, and then you go to university. And you learn things all the time, like building what you have learned before. But in the future, we expect that people actually need to learn things, very basics. Like when we are babies, we start to learn walking and talking. And that same happens when we are growing adults in current world. So we expect that from 10 years from now or 20 years from now, there's going to be knowledge and skills what you can't actually build, what you have learned before. So there's going to be a really big value for the skills that, okay, you can learn something from basics and you are willing to learn something from basics. So this would be your lucky clover. So keep your mind, continuous learning, problem solving, area expertise, and future-proof. All right. Then we all make our own stories. And it is really important what kind of stories we made from ourselves and in our own head. So I have 2 kids, so I have spent my fair share on this kind of a parent school meetings where parents are talking how their children are doing. And I get so mad every time when there is a father saying, okay, I was not able to do mathematics in the school, so my son can't do either. Or something similar. So the stories, what we tell ourselves are very important, how we actually going forward in our careers. And I have selected from Saku Tuominen 8 kind of guidance for you how to create your own stories and what things to keep in mind. And I need my notes for that, just to make sure that I quote him right. We can learn new things every day about ourselves, others, and the world. We can find better solutions than before for every problem. We can learn to pay attention to the good instead of complaining. We can think others who are having a hard time, not just ourselves. We can practice empathy and compassion also towards ourselves. We can learn temperance and patience. We can recognize our own smallness and laugh at ourselves. We can realize that maybe there is also a fault in ourselves. So, when you start to think about what kind of stories you tell yourself, this is the one way of keeping in mind. There is really important part that you are very kind to yourself. Because every time, if you push yourself down with your stories, you can be sure that you start to really believe them on yourself as well. So, 8 things. You can learn things, you can find better solution, you can pay attention good instead of complaining, you can think others, you can practice empathy and compassion, you can learn temperance and patience, you can recognize your own smallness and love yourself. And you can realize that maybe there is a fault in ourselves. So meaning that if you do something which is not nice or maybe not right, you need to pass it over and learn from it, not stuck in that. All right. Then I have built a flower, since I'm a big fan of beautiful things. So I choose the flower instead of kind of a mind map. So I'm Sari. And I have kind of adjectives what I have heard from my friends or my colleagues, or I kind of have learned from myself. So I know that I'm a very positive person. And I'm very trusting as well. So I believe usually that people want good to each other. So world is more good than bad. I'm extremely curious. I'm curious about the things, I'm curious about learning, I'm curious about the people. And I'm also brave. And I'd like to make sure that I always true. I really hard try to be true whatever I do, so authentic. And I have heard that I'm a nice person. It's maybe lame, kind of, but it's really nice to hear when your friend said that, oh, it's nice to, hang around with you, or colleagues like to work with you. Then I'm forgetful as well, which means that my memory is short with the bad things, and I always try to look for the solutions and the good things. And then I'm empathic. So these are the adjectives which I relate to myself. And I kind of ask you to do the same. So find your adjectives so that you would understand what kind of story you would like to create from your personality. So, and they don't have to be all that positive necessarily, but like I said, my first kind of adjective is positive, so mine are very positive. And then I have thought all the roles, I have been working so long that I have had so many roles, but I have picked the roles which are like really valuable in my current role. So I've been a coach, and I've been mentoring for a long, long time. I'm a friend. I'm a mother. I'm a leader. I'm a teacher. I'm an expert. So I'm very proud of things what I have learned during my years. And I'm a team member. And what I mean, all of these, is that coaching is one of my passions. And coaching here means, for me, it means that I will listen to people and I will ask the questions and really help them to find their best, so that they would be becoming the best of themselves. Then I'm a friend and I'm a mother. I have 2 already grown-ups kids or children, and it has been one of the things which has taught me a lot of patience, a lot of how to do things parallel without losing your mind, and just learning myself. So I think it's also one of the roles I want to brought it up here. Then I'm a teacher. I love helping others to learn. And leader in that sense that I really passionately believe what I do, and I want to show model for others to do things as well. That's probably one reason why I'm here as well. And then I'm a team player. I don't like work alone, so I really love when I have people around me and I can work with them. And then the mentor. So mentoring is when I can share my knowledge with the people who would like to learn something what I have done past. I love that too. An expert, yes, I'm very proud of my expertise in different areas what I have collected during my time. Then I actually have put again the kind of a next round. I have taken their actual things what I have studied. So I have studied engineering. And I have studied, now this is a little bit hard, right? Psychology. And those are actually something what I like to separately take, because I think this is a very good combination for software development. We really like to have people who have passion for engineering, but passion for people as well. So it's a very good combination if you find them interesting. Then I have been learning pedagogy as well, and coaching. Sociology, philosophy. So these are things which are supporting my work at the moment. And entrepreneurship. I find it also very interesting to know and understand how the companies are actually working. And of course, you can still continue. In my case, there is something what are quite specific in my current role, like management 3.0 or SAFe or Scrum. But you need to find yourself. You need to find what is your thing and build your expertise and your kind of a map that, okay, what kind of person you are, what kind of roles you have had, and what kind of learnings you have had. And that's how you can build a very good understanding and build your stories that, okay, who you are and what you want to be also in the future. Then, last but not the least, I want to remind you that please make sure that you don't lose yourself in any of the processes what we discussed before. So be really truthful to yourself and remember that you are good as you are. And you cannot be anyone else, so you have to be you, really. So love yourself and find your strengths, find your path. So what is the things you want to do in the life? And then one more thing. Change. The current world, the speed of the change is accelerating all the time. And even that it is really scary because people don't by nature like changes because it's a threat always. So I have found this, I think it's a Japanese or Korean saying, that without change, we would not have butterflies. So my last picture here is about, remember, you want to learn how you change to be a butterfly, or something more positive. Butterflies are my positive. They are the most beautiful things for me. I love them. So find what you love and make a curry out of it. So your life will be filled with the flowers and butterflies. I hope you have enjoyed seeing how to find your strengths and how to find your stories. And have a nice rest of the day.